Welcome back. Now let's study about two kinds of electric charges. Mr. Charles showed that the electric charges on various objects are of only two kinds. Let's understand this with the help of the following activity. As shown in the figure in the slide, part A, rub a glass rod with silk and suspend it from a rigid support by means of a silk thread. Bring another similarly charged rod near it and you can see that the two rods repel each other. Now, as shown in figure B, bring a plastic rod rubbed with wool near the charged glass rod and the two rods attract each other. Now, see the figure C. Here we have rubbed a plastic rod with wool and suspend it from a rigid spot. Bring another similarly charged plastic rod near it and there will be a repulsion between the rods. From this activity, it was noted that the charge produced on a glass rod is different from the charge produced on the plastic rod, and hence concluded that there are only two kinds of electric charges, positive and negative, and number 2, the like charges repel each other and unlike charges attract each other. This statement is also known as the fundamental law of electric charges. Now, let's study about the basic properties of electric charge. From experiments, it is observed that the electric charge has three basic properties. Number 1, additivity. Like mass, electric charge is a scalar quantity. Just as the mass of an extended body is the sum of the masses of its individual particles, the total charge of an extended body is algebraic sum of all of the charges located at different points inside it. That means the electric charge is additive in nature, but note that the sum taking into account during the charges, we have to take the positive and negative signs also. Thus, we can say that additivity of electric charge means that the total charge of a system is the algebraic sum of all individual charges located at different points inside the system. That means mathematically, if a system contains n charges Q1, Q2, Q3, Qn, then the total charge will be Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 and so on plus Qn. For example, the total charge of a system containing 4 charges 2 microcoulomb, minus 3 microcoulomb, 4 microcoulomb and minus 5 microcoulomb is minus 2 microcoulomb. The second basic property of the charge is quantization of electric charge. That means the total charge of a body is always an integral multiple of a basic quantum of charge E. Mathematically, Q is equals to plus minus NE. Here n starts from 0, plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3 and so on. Now, let's understand the cause of the quantization. As the basic cause of the quantization of electric charge is that during rubbing, only an integral number of electrons can be transferred from one body to another. Now, let's do a numerical problem on this one. You will solve it and we will discuss the solution of this question in the next part. The question is, a comb drawn through person's hair on a dry day causes 10 to the power 22 electrons to leave the person's hair and stick to the comb. Calculate the charge carried by the comb. Now, third property of the charge is conservation of charge. By the conservation law of charge, means the total charge of an isolated system remains constant. Or you can say that the electric charge can neither be created nor be destroyed. They can only be transferred from one body to another. To understand this, again consider the same example as we have discussed in the first part, that when a glass rod is rubbed with a silk cloth, it develops a positive charge, but at the same time the silk cloth develops an equal negative charge. Thus, we can say that the net charge of the glass rod and the silk cloth is zero as it was before rubbing. Our next topic is Coulomb's law of electric force. French physicist Charles experimentally measured the electric forces between small charged spheres and formulated his observation in the form of Coulomb's law, which is electrical analog of Newton's law of universal gravitation in mechanics that you have studied in class 11th. Coulomb's law states that the force of attraction or repulsion between two stationary point charges is directly proportional to the product of the magnitudes of two charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. This force acts along the line joining the two charges. See the figure in the slide here. 2 point charges Q1 and Q2 are separated by distance r. Then the force of attraction or repulsion between them is F is directly proportional to Q1 Q2 and F is directly proportional to 1 by r square. Combining these two, we get F is directly proportional to Q1 Q2 upon r square, means direct variation with the product of the charges and inverse variation with the square of the distance between them. By removing the directly sign, you will get a constant K. It is a positive constant and is known as electrostatic force constant. The value of K depends upon the nature of the medium between the two charges and the system of units chosen. In vacuum, it is equivalent to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught. Here, epsilon naught is called as permittivity of free space. So, we can write Coulomb's law in terms of SI unit as F is equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 upon r square. But if the two charges are placed in the medium, then the value of K will be equals to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon. Here, epsilon is the absolute electrical permittivity of the dielectric medium, and the ratio of epsilon to the epsilon naught is known as dielectric constant or relative permittivity. Hence, the Coulomb's law force will be equals to Q1 Q2 upon 4 pi epsilon naught r square, and in the medium it will be Q1 Q2 upon 4 pi epsilon naught epsilon r in place of epsilon r square. And the value of epsilon naught is 8.85 into 10 raised to power minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton per meter square. Therefore, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught will be nearly equals to 9 into 10 raised to power 9 Newton meter square per Coulomb square.